The movie begins with a brief montage of planet Earth in ruins. A solar flare had damaged the ozone layer 10 years ago, causing temperatures to climb to 150 degrees Fahrenheit. Earth has become a most inhospitable wasteland, burned by UV radiation and catastrophic weather. Finch, who is one of the few survivors, is shown scavenging. He is a robotics engineer inside a protective suit, who is accompanied by his robot Dewey. Inside one of the stores, his sensors detect dangerously high UV radiation. He collects supplies, especially dog food, then marks the place to avoid returning. Traveling through a desolate town, his suit suddenly warns of an imminent storm. He races back to his underground lab, once a workplace, now a survival bunker. We soon learn that Finch is dying of tuberculosis. At home, his loyal dog Goodyear awaits. He feeds Goodyear, drinks a little himself, and begins working on a new robot, a caretaker for Goodyear after his death. He transfers data like how to care a dog and how to do chores. He removes Dewey's eyes to install on the new robot, which eventually responds with a nod. Finch is thrilled. His creation understands. The robot learns its core value. The robot learns its core rule: protect Goodyear at all costs. Suddenly, the power goes out. Finch rushes to fix the wind turbine and restores power. The robot names himself Jeff. Soon, a superstorm approaches. Jeff analyzes weather data: 4 storms in 24 hours, lasting up to 40 days. Hearing this, Finch believes that they have to leave the place soon. He also presumes San Francisco as their best option. Finch then starts to build the robot's full body. After finishing it, Finch increases the robot transfer rate and starts teaching him how to walk. Following a bit of practice, Jeff successfully starts walking. While Finch is happy with the progress, Goodyear dislikes the robot and doesn't trust him at all. As the storm gets nearer, Finch starts packing all the essentials and also unplugs Jeff's data transfer at only 72%. Because of this, Jeff is not fully developed and hence acts like a child. Finch calls Dewey to join them, but forgets that he has removed his eyes. Hence, he attaches a camera so that he can finally see again. The 4 then climb on an RV and start making their way to San Francisco. At the start of the ride, Jeff is extremely curious as he tries to learn everything Finch does. For the time being, the group has successfully managed to evade the storm. Then they stop by a deserted town. Finch wears the UV protection suit and calls Jeff to join him outside. He then starts teaching Jeff basic instructions on how to scavenge and also about the hazards of the sun. The duo also has a moment of fun when they pop some popcorn out in the sun. Yes, that's how bad the sun has become. The fun, however, soon fades away when Finch notices the storm approaching them. He gathers everyone and tries to outrun the storm, but it eventually catches up to them. Finch rushes outside with Jeff and orders him to help him tie the RV with wires. After Finch gets tired, Jeff takes the charge and successfully completes the task. Finch then gets inside the RV and secures it. Soon, the massive tornado hits, and all the wires begins to snap, one after another, until only one is remaining. Luckily, the storm passes away and everyone is fine. Finch appreciates Jeff's good work, but gets disappointed to learn that the front tire of the vehicle is damaged. They have a spare tire but do not have a jack to lift the vehicle. However, Jeff simply lifts the vehicle using his sheer strength and tells Finch to change the tire. The next morning, Jeff attempts to communicate with Goodyear, saying that he's trying to learn the dog's language. But Finch wakes up and makes him understand that it will take some time for him to be on good terms. Later that day, a board points the notion of trust. Hence, he just shares his own life story. He mentions how he alone solved the software problem during the project, but gave the credit to the whole team. In this way, he was able to win their trust. At this time, Finch's health keeps deteriorating. They stop at a restaurant where Finch vomits blood. Realizing that he doesn't have much time left, Finch takes Goodyear inside the restaurant and starts playing with him. Meanwhile, Jeff is toying with the RV. He puts on songs while he tries to drive. Because of his clumsiness, he lets go of the handbrake, and the RV hits a car. When Finch confronts Jeff, he acts all innocent. He then reverses the RV only to crash it again. A furious Finch demonstrates what happens to the skin when he steps in the sunlight. He then screams at Jeff, telling him that his only job is to take care of Goodyear. After they leave the restaurant, Finch decides to teach Jeff driving. At first, Jeff is clumsy as usual, but he soon gets the hang of it and starts driving smoothly. Finch is pleased at this, but the doggo still remains skeptical. At night, they stop by the road to camp. There, the beautiful northern lights can be seen as the ozone layer is no longer present. Jeff suggests that they could drive at night, mentioning that daylight is hazardous. However, Finch teaches him that hungry people approach at night and it's dangerous. In the morning, Finch vomits blood and is also shivering. Jeff takes good care of him, asking if he should call the doctor. After that, they continue their journey. When they arrive in a major city, Jeff wakes Dewey and the duo head out to scavenge for supplies. They come across a hospital which looks looted, but Jeff is yet to learn that, so he continues his way inside. When Finch wakes up, he discovers that both the robots are missing. He knows that trouble lies ahead, so despite being extremely weak, he suits up and sets off to find Jeff and Dewey. Someone is watching him from the shadows. Upstairs, Jeff is delighted to find food, medicine, and even a fancy jacket for himself. Meanwhile, Dewey finds some snacks, but doesn't notice a bear trap near it. As he reaches for the snacks, the bear trap rips him apart. After a distraught, Finch finds him. He apologizes and turns off his power. Soon, Finch hears a rumbling sound and finds Jeff as well. Finch stresses that they cannot stay at the place any longer, as it is not safe for them. Both of them then make a run, but Finch is barely managing to stay on his feet. When they reach their RV, they immediately speed away, but a vehicle starts following them. After reaching a bit far, Finch hands over the steering to Jeff, telling him not to make any mistakes from now on. He also notices the car still following them. They turn off the headlights, as Jeff is able to see in the dark. While the mystery car still pursues them, Finch suggests Jeff to stop on the accelerator and speed up. As they are driving into a storm, Finch grabs the wheel and steers it off the road. He intends to use the underpass instead. Despite Jeff trying his best to explain that the height of RV is higher than the underpass, Finch does not listen, and eventually it crashes and the RV's solar panels are destroyed. After the crash, Jeff uses his strength to pull the RV inside. The car that was following them approaches. However, it stops for a little moment and then drives away. After knowing that the people have gone, Finch rushes outside and discovers that all of their solar panels have been damaged. He starts blaming himself for his poor judgment and also mentions he cannot repair it. Jeff assures him that he can take them to San Francisco, but Finch snaps at him to stop talking. A furious Finch then returns to vehicle while Jeff stands outside in the rain. After a little snooping, Jeff comes inside and tells Finch that he thinks they'll make it to the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. Meanwhile, Finch shares another story and relates why he doesn't trust people and how he discovered Goodyear in a bag. He mentions that Goodyear was terrified and alone, and how he promised to protect him at any cost. Finch adds that hunger can turn any good human being into killers. But it turned Finch into a coward as he kept hiding while some young boys killed a young girl and her mother in the supermarket. Next day, a board says 480 miles to go. Jeff sees a butterfly. Finch steps outside and finds the UV radiation has faded. He laughs, seeing flowers and light. They picnic in the sun. Finch shares more stories but tells Jeff he won't make it. Jeff promises Finch to care for Goodyear. Finch hands him the dog's ball, teaching him how to build trust. Finch coughs blood, his suit soaked. Jeff hugs him. Finch says, "You have already helped me." He dies peacefully in the RV, Goodyear by his side. Jeff cremates Finch in the plains, feeds Goodyear, and continues their daily routine. Eventually, Goodyear begins to trust Jeff. They arrive at the Golden Gate Bridge, where Jeff builds a memorial for Finch. Messages left behind suggest other survivors exist. In the climax scene, we see Jeff placing a drawing of the trio on a fence, and then Jeff and Goodyear move on together. Subscribe for more videos like this. Turn on the notification and leave a like to support the channel. Thanks for watching.